Hey y'all, popping in real quick. I'm so excited to share with y'all one of my new favorite podcasts to listen to. Therapy Tea podcast is all about the varied experiences of mental health professionals and specifically the things they wish they had known before getting into this field. Therapy Tea is hosted by Jasmine and Karen, both LPCs like me, and they interview fellow counselors to discuss all the ways that we are constantly learning and adjusting as professionals in the mental health field. What I love about Therapy Tea is how honest, candid, and really funny the conversations are every single time. While I'm listening, I can't help but constantly be nodding my head and feeling validated about my own experiences professionally. Listen, they don't shy away from telling it like it is. Therapy Tea is the perfect podcast for anyone working in the mental health field right now, and especially for anyone considering getting into it. Karen and Jasmine focus on making the reality of what it's like to work in this field more accessible and relatable, and significantly less mysterious. Therapy Tea podcast publishes new episodes every other Wednesday, and you can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. And I had the pleasure of being on their show where I was able to talk about my not so traditional way of getting into this field. And man, let me tell you, it was just a joy to talk with Jasmine and Karen and to be able to share my story. I'm so thankful for the work that they're doing. And I really, really think that this podcast is so helpful, especially for those in the mental health field, to feel less alone. So y'all go check it out. Subscribe to their feed, Therapy Tea Podcast. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. There, and welcome to the Couch Next Door, where a happy hour meets a therapy session. I'm your host, Candace Frazier, a licensed professional counselor. Each week, I'm honored to have a friend come sit on my couch, and we'll dive into an area of mental health that is impacting their world. We'll definitely laugh, probably cry, and maybe go on a rant or two, because we are all humans, full of emotions. Come hang out with us. Don't put me in the basement when I want the penthouse of your heart. We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean, some to throw, some to make a diamond ring. Everything comes out teenage petulance. So make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it. You've got no reason to be afraid. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it. These are just some of the bangers you'll find in the music of Taylor Swift. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this special bonus episode of the podcast. Today, I'm joined by my Swiftie Therapist friend, Lauren McKay, as we excitedly count down to Taylor Swift's upcoming album, The Life of A Showgirl. And trust me, we have a lot to say. But this conversation isn't just about Taylor's music, although yes, we do dive deep into that too. It's about how music and lyrics, especially Taylor's, can play a powerful role in our mental health. We talk about how her songwriting opens the door to vulnerability, healing, and empowerment, not just for individuals, but within the Swiftie community itself. Because here's the thing, Taylor doesn't just write catchy songs. Her word choices create space for reflection, connection, and growth. And beyond the music, the Swiftie community is honestly one of the most supportive, creative, and healing spaces out there. So whether you're a lifelong Swiftie or just Swiftie curious, we invite you to join us for a heartfelt, music-filled chat about emotions, therapy, and of course, iconic word choices. All right, Lauren McKay, welcome to the Couch Next Door.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. And we are both dressed appropriately for our Taylor Swift conversation today. She even wore her friendship bracelets, which I'm really jealous. I didn't think about that. I know, they're awesome. Awesome. Okay, so this is a very special conversation that we're having today, all about Taylor Swift, how she shows up in the therapy room, how songs, lyrics are important when we're talking about our mental health and how they show up in therapy. And so it's funny because Lauren was on Therapy Tea, and when I saw her post, she was wearing a Tortured Therapist Department t-shirt, and I was like, I need to know this girl now. And so I commented, and so then we've kind of like, back and forth on the Instagram, and then I had this idea, and I messaged you, and I was like, she's got to do it. Like, you're my girl for this. So
I'm so excited for this. Yeah.
Yes. So exciting. Okay. Lauren, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like what do we need to know about you?
Sure. Yeah. I am located in Round Rock, Texas. I see clients there. I'm also licensed in Colorado. So a lot of people do kind of the exodus from the Austin area and move to Denver, I feel like. And so I needed to kind of look into that. And so, so I got licensed in Colorado, the easiest licensing that I did it too. Easier.
I did it recently too, because I had a client that moved to Colorado. So easy. Yes.
So much easier than Texas.
Yes. Texas does not play well with others.
No.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that was really, really lucky. And yeah, I do a lot of EMDR. Like that's kind of my jam. Okay. I'm certified. I just recently got certified. And then come June next year, I'm going to look into becoming a consultant in training. And so people that have gone through their EMDR basic training will be able to do consultation with me at that point. And I'm really excited to do that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you start your practice and then get EMDR certified or okay.
Yeah, I did.
That was like a transition. Okay.
EMDR was always something that I knew that I wanted to get into. The cost was just prohibitive during that time. And then I worked in a group practice and I just decided to go for it. And I fully got trained in 2021 and then I opened up my practice in 2023.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I know it is so expensive. But it's such a good, I love it. I refer people to therapists that do EMDR all the time. And, I once was like, should I do it? And then, the cost and the time, I just wasn't in the stage of life. So when the stars align, it works out. Yeah. Oh, good. And now I have you to refer people to.
Definitely.
Yes. Okay. Since this is a Taylor Swift episode, what is your favorite Taylor Swift album? And I know this is a very hard question to answer.
It has to be a twofold. So
okay.
I remember exactly where I was when I very first heard Thème McGraw, which was her first release from debut. And I was driving around in my gold Hyundai Elantra as a senior in high school.
Yes.
So I think that there's just this incredibly special place in my heart for debut that no other album has for me.
Yeah.
And then if you were to ask this version of me, Lauren's version, Midnights is just I was re-listening to some songs to kind of get into the space for our talk today.
Yes.
And there's just something about listening to Midnights that it was an album that came out when my husband was in grad school, and it just helped me get a lot of this confidence back. I started doing dance classes and I just we've grown up together. Taylor and I have grown up together. She doesn't realize it, but in our social relationship, we have grown up together. And I think that Midnights just holds such a special place. And there's something about it being the last era that she did at the eras that just there's just so much you get so pumped at the end of the concert. And so, so it's twofold. I have to go with debut and Midnights.
Okay. Do you have a favorite song or top three?
Oh, goodness.
I know
gracious.
That's a hard one too.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Thème McGraw, just because it was my introduction.
Of course. Yes.
And then, taking it way on the other side of that is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. And then we'll take something from the middle. Wildest Dreams was, I did the instrumental version for my bridesmaids to walk down the aisle to.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay.
And then just a
Fantastic.
random offshoot is that anytime the song Lover comes on in our house, my husband and I stop everything that we're doing and we dance in the living room.
Oh, that's so sweet. But I mean, okay, this right here, this is what we're talking about. Like, it just evokes so much emotion.
Yes.
Right? Like, literally everything stops in your house when that song comes on. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so great. That's so great. Okay. Well, I have admitted, I think on another podcast episode, that I am late to the Swiftie game. But you all have welcomed me with open arms, even though I'm a latecomer, which I'm very appreciative of. I was just very stubborn. Like, my very best friends love her and have loved her for a very long time. And they just kept saying, what is your problem? Like, why you would like her? You would like her if you would just listen to her. You would like her. And I just couldn't get over the fact that she was country first. And you know, I got some things about that. So I did not want to get left out when all my friends are going to the Eras tour. And so I jumped on the bandwagon. I listened to everything so that I would be prepared for that concert. And I was prepared, and it changed my life. Like, that concert.
It was everything.
It was everything. And she, if you don't even like Taylor, she is the hardest working person. I mean, for crying out loud. Like, the fact that she put on a 3-hour show, really no stopping, like, just bam, 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 bam. Right. Singing, dancing, everything. I mean, everything. She did everything. It was amazing. Yeah. So just even that.
And the preparation, the preparation that she did to get performance ready for that and to be on her feet for 3.5 hours. Like, it is wild.
Yes.
And then you see, like, the random things of, like, oh, she is getting sips of water. That's nice. Like, I had, like, I read Reddit posts on how to prepare because I did not want to have to go to the bathroom one time. Oh, that show.
We had the same conversation, my group of friends. Yes. No, we went to the bathroom. Like, we had to strategically go to the bathroom because we are 40-year-old women that need to pee all the time. So, like, no, we had to be very strategic about that for sure.
It was like, it was sips of water. It was not gulps of water. Like, it was very, very, like, yes, absolutely. But, and to speak about, like, just how great the Swiftie community is. So
good.
We had tickets to night 3 in New Orleans. And so we were so excited. We had nosebleeds. We were just like, we are going to be in the room.
Right.
My husband, for just like, for like little laughs and stuff, we were at a bar on night 1 and just like hanging out, having some appetizers. And he was like, I'm just curious, like, how much would it be to like go tonight? How much would it be? And he like starts pulling it up and he's like, we can get floor seats tonight.
No.
And I was like, what? I was like, there's no way. And he sat there, got us floor seats for night 1. So we did night 1 and night 3 when she was in New Orleans. I did not have my outfit. I did not have my makeup done. I did not have anything. I didn't have my friendship bracelet.
Oh no.
And so,
right, because y'all were just at a bar hanging out. Oh no.
So there's this table of the cutest little like 7-year-old girls, and they're like, are you a Swiftie? And they hand us some friendship bracelets, which was the sweetest.
Yes.
We haul butt to the Superdome from that bar because we had an hour to get there, and it didn't take an hour to get there. And I'm standing in line for the bathroom, and there's this girl that's complimenting this other girl's makeup. And she's like, do you have any more of those face jewels? And she does. And I was like, do you have any more of those face jewels? And so she gives me a whole sheet of face jewels. And it's like friendship bracelets and face jewels. And like, and just, it was so great.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, this community is the absolute best.
Yes. Yeah. No, that is something that really stood out to me just for it being my first Taylor concert. Like, I mean, everybody's so happy to be there, but they're also so happy that you're there, like that we're all in this together. And and there's got to be an element of like what you were saying, like watching her grow up and watching her journey and, all of us being in that room, like cheering her on because we want her to, fight the patriarchy and fight, getting her music back and all of that. I mean, she's somebody you really want to cheer for, and we get to do that collectively with each other. Yeah. Oh, that is such a great story though. What a beautiful representation of humanity. We need more stories like that.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. So rant time. What is your rant for today? So we can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Let's just talk about unsolicited advice.
Ooh, okay. Yes.
It happens so often. And I'm just, I think that it's hard because I think that clients come in and they sit down and they talk and they want us to kind of share about that. When I am outside of the therapy room, I don't want to hear what you think that I should be doing about something.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't. I pay somebody to tell me I mean,
what to
my
do.
therapist doesn't tell me what to do, but I pay somebody.
Right. For that kind of feedback.
I pay somebody for that. Yes. Yeah. And so can we stop with that? That would be great. Like, let me tell you if I am open to unsolicited advice.
What do you think it is about people that feel like they have the entitlement or audacity to give advice that's unsolicited?
Well, it's so interesting because oftentimes I find that it's about things that people have no experience with beyond like peripheral. Like it's not like it's not them doing this particular thing. I'm in a lot of spaces where, I follow a lot of parenting things because I have a lot of parent clients.
Right.
And so I just find that there's so much space where people are telling other people how to parent. And it's like, and a lot of times these people are not parents.
Well, and let me tell you something. Even if they are, they're not parenting your kid. So they don't know how to do that.
Like, I will go to Dr. Becky and look up the good inside stuff. Like, I will get that information and put it and give it to my clients who are asking me for this feedback and space and recommendations and referrals. But like, let's not just tell people like what to do with their stuff. Let's just stop.
Okay, so as a therapist, what I guess how do we redirect the conversation or set a boundary when somebody forces their advice on us?
Oh my gosh.
What do we do?
It's so hard, right? Because I try so hard to be outside of the therapy space to not be a therapist.
Yeah.
And so it can be so complicated. I guess going in with curiosity of like, like just, hey, I'm curious about what makes that so important to you right now?
To tell me that, right? Yeah. Yeah.
What's coming up for you?
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I think it's okay sometimes for us to put our therapist hat on when we're out in public.
Yeah.
I think that helps me sometimes to keep regulated. Not go off. Yeah. And it's okay to set a boundary and say, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Unsolicited advice. That's a good one. What can you think of? Like, what's the worst unsolicited advice you've received?
Oh gosh. Let's see. That one's a tough one. I think things that I've read in the parenting spaces are just like about how people decide like what car seat they're going to use or what stroller they're going to use or like, oh my gosh, like don't use that bottle. And it's like what And I'm just like reading this as a non-parent myself and just being like, I don't,
why?
I nannied when I was like 20 something. Yeah. I mean, all of that stuff was just there. I didn't get to decide what bottles were used or what stroller I had to use or what car seat was in my nanny kids had and stuff. Like it was just like, oh, that's just a part of this. And I'm not going to tell people what to do about that. Yeah.
Well, and I feel like there is definitely, I don't know, hierarchy or something like with those kinds of things. And so like if you have this bottle or this stroller or whatever, like it presents as though you have it all together. And so I think a lot of times that's why those things are pushed, but who freaking cares? It's a stroller.
Right.
You know, it's got to go through whatever to be put on the shelf. So it's safe.
I will drink through my Stanley cup that doesn't make anything actually colder than a Yeti or an Arctic or whatever the brands are. But society told me that Stanley is
right.
the way that I should go.
I know. Oh my gosh, so funny. I remember when I was engaged, and I think this is a very common piece of advice that you get when you're about to get married is don't go to bed angry. And I remember going to therapy with my husband, and she was like, that's terrible advice. Like, it's okay if you go to bed angry. Like sometimes you need some space from whatever the thing is, because maybe the next day it's not going to be quite as bad. So she was like, that's fine. You can go to bed angry. I was like, thank you. Because that is not a reality for us. We are going to be going to bed angry.
There was so much feedback that I received on planning my wedding of just like who you're supposed to include and how this is supposed to look. And, you know, do you do the seating chart? Do you not do the seating chart? And it was like, oh my gosh, like I can't even,
too much.
Real flowers, artificial flowers, buffet, no buffet.
Yeah.
I can only afford what I can afford, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Yeah. No, people have a lot of opinions of how you're supposed to spend your money, right?
Yeah.
It goes back to like the stroller thing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. People don't give people advice unless they specifically ask you for it. Okay.
Right.
Like this is your PSA on how to be a better human.
I will specifically ask my friends, family, hey, are you open to like hearing some feedback about this? Are you open to hearing some advice about this? Unless it's my husband, then I just like go off the handle or whatever. But he's used to it. So I mean, as a therapist, I do a lot of problem solving. My husband is a software engineer, so he also does a lot of problem solving. So there's some times where it's just like, I just want to vent right now. Please don't try to fix this.
Same. Yes. My husband's a data analyst. So like he very much likes to fix things and analyze things. And so, I have to tell him, I just need to go off. Like, I don't want anybody to solve these problems. I just need to get it out of my system. And I need to say it 20 times, 15 different ways.
Yeah. Because I see his mind like ticking of like, oh, how do I fix this right now? And I'm like, nope, no.
That's not what this is. Yeah. Now that's good advice. You don't have to fix it or ask. Can I give you feedback? Are you open to feedback?
Yeah, that's my unsolicited advice, listeners.
Yes. Ask if somebody wants your unsolicited advice.
Yes.
There you go. Full circle. We went full circle on that one. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's jump in. I'm so excited. We've got a lot to cover today in preparation for this new album. And that's why we're doing this episode today. So I had always kind of in the back of my head thought about doing an episode like this because for me, whether it's Taylor or another musician or lyrics of some kind, that is always, multiple times a day showing up in the therapy room where a client will say, listen to this song, or they'll send me these lyrics or this quote from a movie and say, I need you to watch this scene or whatever, because this is what I'm feeling right now, or this is my experience. And it is so helpful when they do that because it puts words to something that they haven't themselves been able to find words to, but it resonates so much with them, and it helps the therapeutic process, because now I kind of have a window into that, into something that they couldn't necessarily explain with words. And Taylor is so good with words, and her lyrics are so powerful, and they hit so hard in certain areas, and differently for everybody. Because I mean, she has such a wide variety of lyrics and songs and what they're about and all of those things. And so that's what we're here to talk about today, is kind of to unpack like what that looks like just with music in therapy, but specifically Taylor, because we both love her and her album's coming out. On October 3rd. So for you, Lauren, like what has that looked like for you when music has shown up in the therapy room for you? Does anything stand out when you think about that experience?
Totally. One of the classes that I took in grad school was by our department head, Dr. Thelma Duffy. And so she wrote a book on creative outlets for grief specifically. And one of the biggest kind of projects that I remember from that was all about like incorporating music into somebody's experience with how they manage grief and how they're kind of showing up in the therapy room around their grief. And so it's something that I still use to this day. That particular assignment is something that I still use. And I don't have a lot of my like grad school books left over, but that is one that I refuse to get rid of. Like it was just, it's chock full of just some of the most amazing ways of like managing grief in the therapy space, especially disenfranchised grief. And so I think that that's been a really important way. When I have clients that show up that are Swifties, I can kind of say to them, hey, what you just described reminds me of insert Taylor Swift song. And they're like, yes, you get it.
Yes.
And that's been really freaking cool of like, what you just described reminds me of this very particular song. And they're like, yes, that's exactly what it reminds me of as well. And so then we kind of talk through, what is behind that? What's coming up for you? What feelings are you like? What physical sensations, what feelings come up when you think about that song? Where were you when you first heard it? How old were you?
Right. Yeah. Well, and that also I think speaks to the community of Swifties, right? Like, you know, we're experiencing these lyrics, but then we're also able to see ourselves in them. And firstly, I think language matters, right? And so when certain words are used, they feel really powerful, and we can feel them just in our bones. But to hear like Taylor sing about that in that particular way, but also know that there's this whole community of people in society that is probably also on some level identifying with those lyrics, it helps us just to not feel so alone in those feelings and those experiences. And I think that's another way that she's been able to bring a community of people together, is we're able to identify with what she's singing about and the words that she's using.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so powerful. Do you ever notice, like you mentioned, if it's a Swiftie, how does that then play out in your therapeutic relationship when you know that they're a Swiftie? Because you even on your website, like you were like, this is my marketing. I am a Swiftie. Like, here I am.
I don't know. I mean, I think that there's obviously like a community that's already kind of felt. And I think that's a word that we've been kind of consistently using. I also think that there's just a sense of like, you know, she does kind of stand for, you know, the women's voice. Like something that's kind of continuously like come back to me as we've kind of been talking is The Man, right? Like the song The Man is such an important piece of it, because, you know, I think about who do I like to the same level as Taylor Swift, and my dog is named after a Beatles song. And like Taylor Swift is our Beatles, like is our generation's Beatles. Like she has transformed through so many like musical genres and has reinvented herself, and it's exactly what the Beatles did too.
So true.
But again, men.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley, a man.
Right.
You know, I think about all of
Yeah.
these like really, really famous people that have kind of held on to notoriety over an extensive amount of time that we're still talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of them are women.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Yeah. And so she has kind of changed that, and she's changed that for our generation. And I think back to the conversation that we had last week, in that you were talking about like therapy is political. And, you know, there's people that might argue that, but it is because of the work that we do and the people that we sit with and the space that we give them. And I know that at one point for Taylor was kind of like a tension that she was sitting in, and she had to decide, am I going to be quiet or am I going to stand up for my community? Right. And even to be able to see her step out in that, I think is inspirational. And I think also speaks to like what she's singing about and what she stands for. She's also walking out. And I think that really hits for people too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that her political stance comes back to, you know, the rights of a woman, right? Like, I think that that's specifically what she stands on. I don't know that she necessarily is like, I am 100% behind this particular party. I think that it has more to do with like, what am I allowed to do as a woman? And she, you know, she talks about in Lavender Haze, like, you know, they want her to go back to these 1950s roles and stuff like that. And, you know, we see that, right? We're seeing that play out in front of us right now. Of like, where are women supposed to be? I mean, there are people that are in positions of power that do not think that I should own a business right now.
Right.
And that I should be in my kitchen and not doing this podcast.
Right. And that Taylor Swift should keep her mouth shut, right?
Yeah.
And we are better for it when she doesn't do that, right? Like, come on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, so we're talking about Taylor kind of out in the world. Can we speak to, I mean, kind of like, I know we don't know her, but we feel like we kind of know her, right? What have you noticed? Like I mean, she's had to face adversity, right? Like, you know, she's a celebrity. There's been some tough things that she's had to deal with. What is your perspective on how she's handled that? And, you know, what that sort of portrayed for women, for even young girls, and, you know, just for society to be able to see somebody like her be able to face that with integrity.
Yeah. I think that she has faced adversity in a very human way. So like, she has not faced it perfectly. She's been petty. She's been, and then I also think that she has just kind of like owned it too. Like it has also been something like when she came out with Reputation and the snakes and all of that kind of stuff. And it goes back to like that just iconic line of, you know, the old Taylor is dead. Like it just like, there's something about, and then to hear that line at the Eras tour is just like chills. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she is unapologetically just human, because all of us are petty, and all of us are having difficult at times taking accountability, but then like we're able to come back a couple steps later and be like, yeah, I could have handled that a little bit better. But it's so hard when we live in a society where if we hear something like a recording by Kanye and Kim, and and we, unbeknownst to us, it has been spliced together to make it seem like she has agreed to something. Yeah. Like she came back out, and like, I mean, former Kanye, like major fan, loved him when he came out. I'm not talking about Kanye every day. I'm talking about Taylor every day. Though.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. And so like, who has pretty consistently been at the top and not for, you know, controversial things and stuff. So, I mean, she has really been able to reinvent herself in her music, but she's also been able to kind of just be a girl.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if, you know, I think there's got to be something to that, her, I mean, in the therapy world, we talk about how values guide us, right? Brene Brown like preaches on that, right? And so if we adhere to our values and we're true to our values, then we feel like our most authentic self and we're going to show up as our best selves. And I bet Taylor has done that, because I think she does show up as a human. Like you said, she's not doing everything perfect. She is petty. She has emotions. She's letting everybody know about them, right? And so like she is still herself and she's still showing up as herself, and she's not perfect.
No. Because none of us are.
Right. Exactly. Because she's a human, just like the rest of us. Yeah.
Yes.
No, but I love how you said that, because I think that's part of her likability too, is that she is relatable in that way. And she shows that. She's not trying to be a certain way or a certain thing.
Exactly.
And I imagine
that takes me back to Jessica Simpson, right? Like Jessica Simpson had this like very specific like image of who she was. She was the virgin and she was waiting until marriage, and even Britney Spears, right? Like that was, now having read her memoir,
right?
like
yes,
that
same.
was something that was actually something that was thrust upon her, not something that she fully was invested in and all of that. And so these two very like powerful female voices from the late 90s, early aughts, like they didn't get to be themselves. They were told who they were going to be. Right. And so it's so refreshing to get to see this person who is just herself, is gonna sing about these different like, yes, her relationships, but also different friendships that have failed, and like I cannot wait for this new album, because I'm just so excited to see where it goes. Like I'm just
the titles of these songs, I'm so intrigued. I'm so intrigued. Yes. Same. No, I think that's a really good point when we look at that in comparison to other artists. Like you said, in the 90s and 2000s, I mean, let's be real, like it was the men that were making them do that. Right. And I think Taylor has dealt with that as well. But I also think because she's fought against that, and she's fought for herself, that's allowed her to grow up with us, right? To transition and to change. I think that's when we think about like people like Jessica Simpson and Britney Spears, it was harder for them to grow up with their fans, because we kind of outgrew them, because we started to become adults and we were living out experiences, and they had to stay in this box to be who they had presented to be. And so Taylor fought really hard not to stay in that box and to grow up. And she did that in front of us. And we got to do that with her in her music and, the little bits of her life that we've been able to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that makes a difference with how we see her. And also just, again, the Swiftie community, it's grown because people continue to identify with her. She's not losing that population because of how she's presenting herself. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at some lyrics and songs. Does that sound fun?
I'm so excited. Yeah.
So I went on Instagram and I asked, people to give me songs or song lyrics that helped them to feel seen or created some like really big, strong emotions for them. So I want to start. Let's start with the lyrics. Okay, so here is the first one. It's the song "Long Live," which I love. Yeah. That is my best friend's. That is our like theme song. But the lyric that they noticed was, "Please tell them my name."
Chills. Yes. I remember listening to that song I want to say I was in college. And I just remember being in a relationship at that time. And I think for me, this was my first relationship that I had in college that was like a long-term relationship. And I knew that we weren't going to go the long haul and stuff. But I think like there was just something about like, I really hope that when he has children one day, that like the way that I saw our relationship, like just, show them like how much fun we had, like show them like the things that we did. I'm like getting teary eyed just like thinking about this, but yeah, like tell them my name, like that
was a part of your life. I was a part of your life. You were a part of mine. Like, and it was important. Yeah.
And that's one of my friends, like that's one of her favorite songs, and it reminds her of like a really amazing time in her life too. And I remember when that merch came out. When she did Taylor's version. And so,
yeah, I know. I love this song. This was when one of my best friends from high school turned 40, we were we grew up like, we graduated 2000. So like video cameras were attached to our arms. And so we had a lot of home video footage of us in high school. And so we created this whole like video thing, but then one of our friends created like a video montage to this song from like all of this stuff from high school. And I will like, if I watch that, I can't keep it together because it just feels so like anytime that chord strikes and I hear that song, I will automatically think of those three girls. That will be for the rest of my life. I will not be able to hear that song without thinking about them. So I mean, it just, again, like you think of people in relationships.
Absolutely.
It's
so true.
Okay, the next one was so the person on Instagram said this was her first Taylor Swift gets me moment. And it was, this love is difficult, but it's real.
Yeah. So we're also going back to like very early Taylor.
Yeah.
And so I think like, it's just, I love that so much. And I'm like, do you remember AIM? Do you remember AOL Instant Messenger?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure this was like one of my away messages.
I love it. That's amazing. Yes. Of course.
And so, I mean, when you're thinking about first loves and you're thinking about like just early relationships and stuff like that, like there's so much you don't know.
Yes. Right.
And so you're fighting about, and not even like fighting, but you're arguing or having these misunderstandings about things. And so, but it's also like, but it's not these like high school relationships. Right. And so like these college or these early adulthood relationships, they just, there's a realness to it. There's an authenticity to it that you don't feel in other relationships. And so I think that's where that kind of rings true for me with that lyric.
Well, and I love, like, I think this represents such relatability because relationships are hard, man. Like, they're so freaking hard. And so, love is difficult and it's real. Like, those two things are coexisting, and it doesn't mean like it's wrong or fake, but it's hard. It's hard and it's real, and we're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and it doesn't have to be like first relationships too. Like, obviously we can experience these in marriages too.
Yes.
As, things change,
Absolutely.
I remember how hard it was when my husband was in grad school and then, and then when he was out of it, it was just like, like we just had more time together, and this is so great, and then what does it look like when you have children? What does it look like when those transitions happen? What does it look like when they go off to school for the first time? And like, you're kind of navigating all of these things. Like, relationship is difficult. Love is real. And it is just
so good.
Yeah.
Okay. This one. So All Too Well, 10-minute version. Thoughts? Do you have any initial thoughts? Cause this one is so casually cruel in the name of being honest. That's the quote that this person noted, but I mean, that song, I swear to God, like, so much emotion in that song.
One of my really good friends, she was my maid of honor in my wedding. We do this at karaoke all the time.
Oh, do you?
To our friends' dismay. And it is such an emotional song. And yes, this particular lyric is just, like there's so much gold in that song.
Oh,
like,
yes.
You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. Like, it just hits because again, it reminds me of those early adulthood relationships of just like, I was so into this and you were so not.
No, but I mean, but remember when this song came out, like, the 10-minute version, and
Yeah.
the scarf, right? Like the scarf is like, everybody's talking about the scarf, and does he still have the scarf?
Right. Yeah. And what is the scarf a real scarf, or is it a symbol for something else? Right. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, that's the thing. I think that's the other thing about her songs, like taking them literally or figuratively, but either way, like they still mean something. Like those words mean something. We may not know exactly what they mean, but they mean something for sure.
And she was so young. You know, she talks about waiting for him to come through the door. Dad said it's supposed to be fun turning 21.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, you're so like, and you think you know so much.
Yeah.
You think you know so much about the world at 21.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the other thing when I think about her love life. Like some of these heartaches when she was a baby. Oh my gosh, she was so young dating these men. Yeah. And I don't know. Like I'm like, why? Why were you?
That's a whole nother podcast for another time.
Word. Okay. Right? Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Lindsay Lohan. I'm looking at you.
Right. Yeah. List them out. Oh my gosh. Okay.
But
so
again, it's not them. It's not the ladies.
No, it is not. No, she didn't know. Like she's 20, 21. Right. Yeah, exactly. What is she? She didn't know. She can't know what she doesn't know.
John Mayer.
The John Mayer of it all. Yeah. Did you read Jessica Simpson's memoir as well?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that whole John Mayer situation with her.
Yeah.
Whew,
exactly. Yeah.
So good. Okay. So this one is from New Year's Day. And the lyric is, please don't ever become a stranger whose laugh I could recognize anywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I love that song. My birthday's New Year's Eve. So,
is it?
So it's already just kind of like something that's already connected. But yeah, it reminds me of my maid of honor too. She just went to her high school reunion recently, and somebody off in the distance like said something about her laugh, and I was just like, man, that is like it's so interesting that we have these pieces of ourselves that are these like fingerprints, right? Like that we have that are so unique to ourselves. And so I find that so that lyric is just like, yes, because when you're in these spaces and when you know these people, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, there's something that becomes just a part of that. And then when you do have the inevitable, sometimes it's not, I mean, hopefully I'm in my marriage for life. But like sometimes when you have this inevitable like parting of this language goes away. These things that about this person just completely you and you know, I just, that's kind of how that takes me into that. And then obviously in this space too, like where is she seeing this person? Is she seeing this person at an award show? Is she seeing this person at you know, dinner or something like that? Like man, it just, everything floods back.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you have to then wonder like when you think about somebody that you're that close to, that you could recognize their laugh anywhere, and now like you haven't spoken to them in years or ages, and they do feel like a stranger. I mean, so this friend that told me this one, she was like, it's just a gut punch every time I hear that lyric, and she can't listen to this song without crying. So, I mean, and she was like, and that's the lyric that gets me every single time. Yeah. It's powerful. Yeah. Okay. Are there any lyrics for you that popped up when you think about them?
There's, I think of Never Grow Up, and
I've got that on here. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, this is going to take me to another space, but it reminds me a lot of Mama by the Spice Girls. And it invokes that same kind of like, that same kind of emotion and feeling, because I think the very first time that I heard Mama when I was like really, really young, and then when I first heard Never Grow Up, and also being pretty young, there's this interesting part of just really appreciating your mom and like, you know, just being in the space of like, man, like, you know, like I I have this amazing person who has done all of these things, sacrificed in her life for me. And like, and so there's this sadness with that. And then as I've kind of been navigating my infertility journey and all of that, like it has these particular songs have new meanings.
Yes.
Altogether.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Well, and I think that speaks to how Taylor has been able to grow with her fans, because it once meant one thing to you, but now, you know, as you've grown into adulthood, it means something different. And so I think, again, that speaks to her ability to transcend, you know, various generations. And I think it's because of her lyrics are just so deep, because it meant something over here, but it can be meant for something, another experience at a different stage in your life.
And during Travis Kelce's father's interview with wherever, he did say that they want to have children. So we may get some.
Yes. Yeah. No, my friends say that that Taylor writing an album about being a parent may kill them. Like they're like, it's just, I mean,
I totally get that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's jump into songs that people listed. Okay. So the first one is Marjorie, which.
Okay. Yeah.
Whew, yeah. About her grandmother. And then her grandmother's on the track. So pretty. Such a beautiful song.
I know. And, you know, just, there's something about when she uses a name in her lyrics or in her song titles. There's just something about it, because I think that we can each picture that person for us. Like Mary's song is one of them, when she talks about Betty.
Yes.
Like Daisy May. Like there's just so many, like Clairbout. Like there's just I get the sense of who
this person is.
Yeah,
for sure. No, I totally agree. And that's exactly what I do. I mean, I think about, it's not even my maternal grandmother, but my husband's grandmother, because my grandparents died when I was younger, but I felt like she was my grandmother. And so that's who I think of. Like, I wish I had realized, you know, all of this time that I got with you, and I appreciated it more. And so sweet.
Totally.
Another one that was listed was Sweet Nothing. Okay, so this is a song that she wrote with Joe.
Oh.
What do you think about the Joe Alwyn of it all? Like, thoughts? What do you think of their relationship?
You know, these two people are incredibly public and in our face and all of that. And I don't know that she got to be 100. And this is all like from a visualization, right?
Of course.
Like,
right. We have not spoken with her personally to know how.
Yeah, exactly. This is all speculation. Allegedly, as we like to say.
Right.
In those spaces. But I think that like there is, I think you can't talk about the Joe Alwyn without it, of it all, without examining the relationship with Travis Kelce, of like just going down on the field after he's won the Super Bowl and like having this just very amazing embrace and kiss and going to these football games consistently and rooting. And then when she's in the heights and she's like, I had no idea what she was like, I thought defense and offense played at the same time. Like I didn't understand. And so you know, growing up in Texas, like I had to know know about football.
Right. Yeah.
That's just like a rule. But like it's just so fun to see that relationship and how comfortable she is, and then for her to have this public engagement, like that would have never happened, I don't think, if it had progressed to that with Joe. But I also think that there was a sense of sadness too when that relationship ended, because I think that, I mean, it was around the start of the era, like
eras,
when we found out about it anyway. It was the start of the eras. And so I think I think that's one of the spaces is I don't know that that's exactly what she wanted. I don't think that she wants to have an incredibly public relationship where she's talking about them all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
And she wants to support her man, and then he wants to support her. And every other word out of each of their mouths are not about the other one. And that's what a relationship is, right? Like it's not, it is that they are a significant part of our lives. And so I think that she gets, again, unapologetically human. Like this is just like, this is her sweet spot. This is what, and she got to be engaged for 2 weeks before she even had to tell, the public. And so like, again, like she's getting to do things on her time and she's getting to have the agency with that. And I don't know that she had the agency with that in that relationship. And so we see that through some of her lyrics.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, there were other relationships that were in the public eye because that's what you did back then. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going a little off of the songs, but I'm curious. Tortured Poets Department. It seems like that album is much more about Maddie Healy than Joe Alwyn. Do you agree?
I think that but I also think that there are a couple of songs in there about Travis Kelce too. Like, I think that it is, I think think that it is 100%, like his mom said on Watch What Happens Live, that it is 100% about Maddie Healy. No, I do not. And we're glad that you're not her mother-in-law either.
Right. It's just funny that, I think there definitely are songs that are about him. And it's like that relationship was such a blip in comparison to Joe.
I think it was a blip for us, but I think it was one of those things that was a situationship that was just not for us to see. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, so that makes sense. Okay.
Because I think that we've all kind of had those relationships where it's like, there's somebody in the wings that like, we keep on the hook, right? That we like, there's going to be a time where it's the right time, right person and stuff like that. And like, maybe we send these flirty like messages to or whatever, but like, it never like happens. And so I think that relationship was probably a lot more longer in a certain way, not in like a cheating way, but like, I think that it was a lot longer than I think that than what we knew it to be.
Yeah. Maybe some emotional connection, and maybe it was more of that than the other. Yeah. Okay, so the other song listed, "Tolerate It." This is another friend said she also can't listen to that song without crying. That I remember like watching her perform that at Eras.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
So my version of Eras didn't have that. And the Disney Plus version does, which is really great. So I've been able to see it.
Okay.
on a screen. I've seen the performance of it. We got a Tortured Poets Department like at the New Orleans show. Nice. And so there's songs that are cut. So like Long Live is one of the ones that's cut, which is really like a bummer. The Archer is one of the songs that was cut. And so there are these like songs that it's like, man, I couldn't wait to hear that song. And then we also got like a Pistol, and so that was really nice.
You got some good stuff too. Yes, you did.
But yes, Tolerate It. That particular story that she performs at Eras Tour is just like, again, it's something that I've definitely felt in a relationship before.
Same. Yeah.
And, like, and then just also to watch her act this out while she's singing these lyrics is just like, it did. It really did.
Yeah. Well, even, again, language matters. That word tolerate, that's all that we feel in this relationship is that you're just tolerating me. You're just tolerating everything that I'm doing for you. And feel like I'm putting all of this into it and all I'm getting is just toleration. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think her word choice, like sometimes I'm like, how did she come up with this?
Right.
Like her
Yeah.
word choices are just so spot on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about for you? Like, what are some songs that strike up big emotion for you?
So one song that we talked about last week was I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Yes.
I know that this particular song is something very specific for her, and it's, you know, like her, you know, going through the motions and going through and performing, and, you know, she's doing all of these things. For me, when that song came out last year, it was right around the time that I went through a miscarriage. And so it's really, really interesting because like the song meaning and what she put it out for had nothing to do with how I interpreted it. And that song really, really helped me through that, because I showed up every day for my clients and I didn't take any time off, and I just I smiled through it, and I did the things that I needed to do. And it wasn't the way that it's not how I would encourage clients to do it.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it was just that song. I listened to that probably every single day.
Yeah.
During
That was
time.
your anthem.
And
yeah, absolutely.
it was. Yeah.
Well, and again, it speaks to because of the way that she, like her lyrics and the word choices, I think it also gives the listeners some creative privilege to interpret it how they need to. And again, I think that's how music plays such a part in mental health is if you, I mean, here's the thing, if you resonate with it and it feels like representative of how you're feeling, then let it, right? Like, don't try to analyze it too much and wonder, well, is that what it's meant for? Who cares? Like, if it feels something to you, then let it. Totally. Like, that's powerful and that's helpful to our mental health. That helps give language to it and awareness. So I try to encourage people, like, because I'll have clients, plenty of clients will be like, well, I have another song. And I'm like, share. Yes, please.
Yes.
You know, because I think sometimes they feel silly, like they can't come up with those words. But no, like this is a way to use it for your for good and for healthy communication about how you're feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, that's such a good one.
So that one like really like strikes for me. Enchanted is also just one that like just there's just something about it. I just feel it deep in my bones. And when that song comes on, I just feel that. And then there's also Our Song, which is really funny because it takes me back to my like last high school relationship that I had. And I remember playing this song for that particular partner and just being like, I think that this just really rings true for us. And he was like, yeah, me too. And so like, there was nothing like inherently wrong in that relationship or anything like that, but it just fizzled out eventually. And, you know, like so I look back on that song and I'm like, yeah, that is our song. I really, really love that. Mean is another one that I think about. I love the lyrics of that song. And it goes back to that like humanness that she is, right? It's right. And, you know, like petty isn't the right word, but like, there's a little bit of just like, you know, you're going to be sitting in a bar one day and like, you're going to see me on that TV and you're just there and I'm here.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like, well, because don't we want that? Like for somebody that maybe didn't treat us right, like we want them to see us and realize that they screwed up. And regret it. Absolutely. That's what we want. That is a very relatable sentiment. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that kind of pop into my head right now of just like, I mean, and then just Tim McGraw, like that is just such a, because I did grow up listening to country music and because like that was such a big part of my life. Yeah. Listening to Tim McGraw and that particular song, but knowing that there were other artists that I listened to and just being like, that would be the song that I would listen to. And that would remind me of this relationship. And now that there's so much to pick from with Taylor, I have those songs with like style. I can exactly picture the person that I was, seeing at that time.
Yeah.
Wildest Dreams, the same thing. Lover with my husband, and like that just being such a comforting song for us, and all of that. Long Live, like that reminding me of my first college relationship, and just like all of these spaces of like, there's so many things that like take me to these different relationships and like different times. A song that she wrote, but she didn't originally record, is called Better Man, and Little Big Town, I think, is who put it out first. And then she put it on Taylor's version. And that was one of my like last grad school relationships. And like that song, because there wasn't this like closure in that relationship, like that particular song, when I would listen to it, would just be in tears, because it was like, yes, this is exactly how I feel about this relationship.
Yeah. So, well, and again, it's so interesting when you think about any songs, but maybe particularly Taylor songs that create this connection to somebody in your life. And like you said, I mean, automatically that's where I go. Like, I know who that person is. I know what part of my life that was. I remember it like it was yesterday because of that song, and what that does to our memory, when we are connected to music in that way. Yeah. I know that there is one song, I have a friend that she literally can't listen to, and it's incredibly sad, but Soon You'll Get Better. Have you, do you know about her mom? And that song is hard to listen to. When I think about, and even thinking about what we know she was probably going through. And I mean, just read the lyrics. It'll probably make you cry if you haven't listened to it, but because even if it's not, we've all had that in our lives too, right? Like we've experienced that in some form or fashion. And so like, for her to put that out there and be that vulnerable, and I think that that's a big part of human connection too, is that vulnerability. Right. Like, for sure, we're asking our clients to be vulnerable in this space. We want our friendships to have vulnerability in them. And so like, again, she's just continuously like modeling this behavior for us of like, it's okay to be human, and it's okay to experience this, and at times to talk about it. Right. Well, I think that's a big part of her lyrics, is it gives us permission to be vulnerable, to feel the feelings, to give space to those feelings. So those are all things therapists love, like, and encourage our clients to do. So, I mean, again, that's why we're having this conversation, because Taylor supports our vision for our clients. Keep bringing songs to your therapists, guys. Yes. Keep doing it. It's amazing. One of my favorite songs of Taylor is Mad Woman. And I like it because, I don't know, I have been known to have a temper. I feel like in my older age, I've been able to get it under control and regulated. But I think I just love it so much because it depicts the emotion of a woman and how a man sees it, and like looking at it as a bad thing, and her saying like, just keep telling me not to be mad and see how that works. And you call me crazy, and what do you think that's going to do? I think again, I love the realness of those lyrics, and I connected with that just because and we all get angry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Again, back to the therapeutic world and stuff like that. I've never told a client that they're not allowed to be angry before. Right. Yeah. Yes. We're angry. Allowed to. Right. Yeah. Something that a lot of people know about me is my road rage. Yeah. Love it. It's not dangerous. I promise I don't get it to the dangerous aspect, but man, just, gosh, where did we all go to driving school, or where did we all learn how to drive? Because, oh my goodness. Yeah. Blinkers, guys, blinkers. There's another rant. Lauren has another rant about blinkers. Yeah, that's for our next episode. Right. Okay. Any other songs, any other lyrics you want to digest, unpack? Ooh. Let's see. I think, something that I wrote down were
just kind of these songs about specific things that she had particularly like talked about. So there's a line where she brings up her like melancholia and sterility. And so her to then, any sort of mental health issues she doesn't talk about in like early albums.
Right.
And then we're starting to kind of get into that. She was a functioning alcoholic, right? Like, so we're starting to get some of these pieces in, Midnight's and Tortured Poets Department. And then who knows what Life of a Showgirl is going to bring us to.
Right.
We see a lot of body image issues. We see a lot of weight discussed.
Yeah.
And, and then my favorite and anti-hero is when she brings up covert narcissism, right?
Yes.
And so like,
oh, that's so good, right? Yeah. How do you fit that in a song? Taylor did it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so like, these are all just like such real and timely things, right? So like some of these things are in fact pieces that we are, that we're talking about and that that are either buzzwords. I mean, I feel like narcissism is an incredible buzzword that's happening
right now. Yeah.
And maybe the person that you're talking about is just an asshole, right? Like maybe they're
right.
not a narcissist. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
like,
they may not be diagnosable, but yeah, still not great. Yeah, for sure.
But those are the things that kind of, pop into my head of like, of specific lyrics, specific songs. And again, like kind of the realness. And because I don't think that singing about these things was cool 10 years ago. And, and now we also have Olivia Rodrigo talking about like relationships as well. And we also have her being really real. And I think that these are spaces too, that like some of this is because Taylor Swift has opened these doors for us to, and I say us, I'm not going to start singing, guys. Y'all don't want that. But for like other female artists to kind of come through and feel confident singing about relationships that didn't go well and all of these things. But again, it puts a realness to it, and it helps for clients, I think, like the people that I work with and other people that are listening, Swifties that are listening to her music, of like, man, she gets it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
She's talking about sadness, or she's talking about, like, and I think that it's easy for us to look at specific bodies and be like, you can't have that. You can't be being in the public eye though. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think it also speaks to like what you're saying. We've got up and coming artists like Olivia Rodrigo. Taylor's opened the door, and I think it appeals to the public now for artists to be vulnerable. I think it, whereas before in the Britney Spears era, the men in charge of her didn't want her to show her real side. That made her a wild card that people may not like her. But I think, I don't know, we're smart. Like, we're smart fans. We want to see the real person, as real as you can offer to us. Because that helps us to feel connected. And I don't know, I think connection is everything. And I think that's
as real as you have a comfort in being with your fans and stuff like that too. Like, I mean, it's hard to not talk about Taylor Swift and then to also talk about football. But like, we think of football also as being, this very like macho and like, we hit people and all of that kind of stuff. But that's even a space where we're seeing like, representation that is really, really helpful too, of like, these different athletes that have strong, positions with specific charities or spaces that are really, really important to them. And
they're being more real about that than they may have been felt like they could be in the past. Oh yeah, for sure.
And so, I mean, and TBIs and concussions and all of that kind of stuff is the first thing that kind of pops into my mind. But there's also spaces where, there are a lot of athletes that are talking about PTSD as something.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking
Yeah.
about, cancer and like,
Yeah.
these different places that they're representing, and so it's just like really lovely to see these different space or domestic violence. Like you can't talk
Mm-hmm.
about football
Right.
without
Right.
talking about domestic violence. Like that
Yeah.
is also something that happens a lot
Yeah.
in that space,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like, it's nice to see that again, these people that, I mean, their one job is just to show up every Sunday from
Mm-hmm.
September to February, right?
Right. Right.
Like,
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but for them to also have a voice for these
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
populations as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, it takes somebody going first, and I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that Taylor is the first one to do that, but
No.
I think she is somebody that does it and does it well and does it consistently.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that's what sort of stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What about this new album, Life of a Showgirl, are you most excited
Yeah.
about?
I mean, these lyrics, definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
I cannot wait to see this movie premiere that is
Hmm.
happening. I have no idea what to
I
expect.
know. Did you get tickets? Are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yes, Friday.
Yeah, same. Yes.
Yes.
We'll have to
Totally
message each
planning
other
on
after.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
debrief.
Totally planning on wearing my Eras outfit.
Oh, awesome. Love it. Yeah. I need to figure out what I'm going to wear.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, even if it's just like a black screen with white lyrics and stuff like that, and like
Fine.
that's just the entire thing, take my money.
Well, because you know what? We're all going to be in there and we're all going to be together and it's going to be a good
Yes.
hang because it's going to be a bunch of Swifties and we're all
Yeah.
happy about it and we're all excited. And so, yeah, take my money. I'm here for a good time. I know it'll be a good time.
I don't think that it's going to be that simplistic, but even if it is,
No,
like
we're
it will
okay
be
with
money
that.
well spent.
Right. Yes. Yes. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, just seeing, like, I think that's what we're all excited about. These lyrics.
Yeah.
Just to see the song titles. I'm very curious the vibe. Like, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more upbeat.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
But I also think that it's going to be like Tortured Poets Department 2 in some aspects too, where like it is going to be that poppy, but these lyrics are also probably going to be like, ooh, girl, like you just did that.
Yeah. Well, and you sent me, which I love those Instagrams where they're like these individuals are listening to Taylor Swift for the first time and like really listening to the lyrics. They're like, oh, she just said that. What? They're so funny. Yeah. Yes. Love it. Oh my goodness.
Because I mean, that's exactly what I think of when I think of I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. It is such a poppy, like, oh yeah, like this is so upbeat and stuff, but that is not the
content
behind it whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we're therapists. What do you want people to notice? How do you want people to listen to this album? You know, I know we talked a little bit like somatic work and, you know, just kind of being in the album and the songs and the lyrics and all of these things. What is your advice? Unsolicited. No, you're listening to this, so it's solicited. What is your guidance on how people can listen to this well and like pay attention?
The first two things that come to my mind are listen to it with curiosity, like always.
Yeah.
And then also just like, how is your body reacting? Like what do you notice in your body? And, you know, delve into that. Is what's coming up for you? What feelings are coming up for you? And, you know, just remain curious with that. Remain curious. That is such a big part of it. And I think like with the somatic too, like, you know, if there's excitement, where is the excitement? Where are you feeling that in your body? And how do you know that you're excited?
That's
your
good.
body is telling you that you are feeling something before your brain tells you.
That's right. Yeah. Do you have any rituals when a new album comes out?
I mean, I just listen from point A to point B. I really love that she like appealed to Spotify and was like, hey, can you take the shuffle off? Like I want people to listen from my first song the way that I've put this out. And
Yeah.
I mean, and that's how vinyls were like back in the day. Like you listen to it, you listen to side A and then side B and like, and it was a story, and that's how how she puts these out. That's what she wants you to do.
Yeah.
And so do that.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I don't, again, new to the Swiftie era. I don't really have a ritual, but I have friends that have rituals. So, two of my friends that are very much night owls, they usually will, like, if it's like a midnight release or whatever, like anytime that there's been like a release like that, they will stay up and then they text in the group chat. And so then me and my other friend will wake up and see their whole recap, which we're like, please include us. Like, even though we're sleeping, we want to wake up and see how you divulged all of this together.
Exactly.
But usually they will like debrief together. And then my other friend, what she likes to do is she likes to go through and read the lyrics. So then she can she wants to like know what the words are and get the words in her brain. And, you know, sometimes she'll even like, she'll listen, but a lot of times she likes to go back and read the lyrics, which I really like that too.
And that's what I really appreciate about Taylor too, is I remember in the 2000s, early 2000s, like that was something that you just like didn't include in your CD jacket for whatever reason. And like, I am such a visual like listener.
Same.
Like I want that. I want to see, and that's where she also puts her Easter eggs too. So like, it's also, it's also a space of like, why is that letter capitalized?
Right. Yes. She does hide those things, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Lauren. Well, is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to chat about that we didn't get to?
The only thing that I will like sign off saying is like, I have loved Taylor Swift so long that there was a Halloween costume and I dressed up as her and I drew out a guitar. This was, oh my gosh, this was so early. This was like maybe Fearless was her latest album.
Yeah.
So she had debut and then I think she had Fearless out. And I had that guitar that I drew out for the longest time and I don't have it anymore and I'm so sad about it, but I drew teardrops on it. I had a picture on it that I had burned the edge of, and like it was just, I was like, yes, like this is everything. And I'm so sad that I don't have it still to show my children one day.
Do you have pictures? Do you have pictures of it?
I do have pictures.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. What was your Eras outfit? Now I'm curious. What did you wear?
I wore a jumpsuit that was very, very sparkly.
Love
and
a jumpsuit.
I had sparkly makeup, and
of course,
I think I put like hair clips in, and then had a full arm of friendship bracelets and you know, had to wear some hokas because I was going to be walking a while.
Right.
But
all right. Well, how do you, I always like to end, how are you taking care of yourself well? I think self-care is important as therapists. And I think Taylor Swift helps us in that area. But for you, as just a human in the world, how do you take care of yourself well?
Yeah, I mean, I really try to leave work at work. And I utilize, you know, my Fridays as kind of this type of stuff where I'm connecting with other therapists, grabbing coffee, doing my doctor's appointments, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Being consistent with that. But like the top three things are daily coffee.
Yes. Okay.
Acupuncture has been incredibly helpful of like taking care of myself. And yoga. I absolutely love yoga. And that's been really, really helpful.
Good. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody is interested in having a Swiftie therapist like yourself and they live in Texas or Colorado, how do they find you?
My website is the best way to get a hold of me, laurenmckaylpc.com.
We'll put it in the show notes.
There's a contact form in there. You'll know you're at the right place because of Tortured Therapist Department.
Yes,
t-shirt.
Look at her shirt. Yeah, it's amazing. You hooked me with that. So good. And I'll also link Lauren's episode on Therapy Tea, because you were on Therapy Tea as well. That's also a great
Love
episode.
Those girls.
So
yes.
yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll link. If you want to hear more from Lauren, you can check her out over there too. But thank you so much. This is such a fun conversation. I mean, yeah, this is really fun to dive into.
I love it.
Thanks so much for tuning into this bonus episode. So much fun and such a joy to have my Swiftie therapist friend Lauren join me as we count down to the life of a showgirl. We are so ready for whatever magic Taylor is about to drop. But as you heard, this episode wasn't just about fangirling. Okay, maybe a little. It was also about how music and lyrics in particular can be powerful tools in the therapeutic process. Taylor's songwriting has a way of tapping into real emotions. And when you bring that into the therapy space, it can open up so much healing and insight. And remember what Lauren said. Y'all, keep bringing the song lyrics to your therapist. We love it. And it opens up the door for communication and understanding in such a beautiful and authentic way. And hey, if you're not a Swiftie, here are two things to keep in mind. First, Taylor lives for a good bridge. Some of her most powerful work lives there, so don't sleep on those moments. Second, if your opinion of her is based only on the singles that make it to the radio, I highly encourage you to dive deeper into her albums. There's a whole world of lyrical depth waiting for you. And I created a playlist on Spotify with the songs that we mentioned in the show to help you get started. Head over to the show notes and let's get hyped for the life of a showgirl. The Swiftie community is so welcoming, so wherever you are in your journey to Taylor Swift, just know you have a place. The information included in this podcast does not replace that of your own professional therapy. If you believe you are in need of professional assistance, please reach out to the medical community in your area. The Couch Next Door with Candace Frazier was created by me, Candace Frazier. Graphics by Jason Frazier. Music by Josh Bissell. You can find the show notes and affiliate links on CandaceFrazierLPC.com. Click on the tab podcast and you'll find all podcast related content there. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram. Find me at Candace Frazier LPC. Give the show a rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts. This really helps get the show to more listeners in the world, and I would be so grateful to see what you all are loving. Until next time, show kindness to yourself and those around you.